Mmatshepo M Damane is a budding author who has a book out called Thee Unbreakable Woman, dedicated to every woman, irrespective of their age, social status, or even educational background. The book is a love letter to every woman who has suffered unbearable pain and yet remains unbreakable. Seeing women fight for their space in society has inspired Mmatshepo to encourage other women to not give up. She also shares stories of her life as a young girl and had to grow prematurely. Mmatshepo joins us now in studio to share more. Mmatshepo, very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning to you and to all the viewers at home. Thank you for having me.
I'm getting goosebumps as I was linking to that intro because of the remarkable story that you share in the book. First of all, just take us through what this book is all about and what inspired it.
This book is about, encouraging somebody out there, especially women. As we know, in South Africa, we're still facing gender-based violence in our communities. And this is just to encourage a woman who have survived a lot of trials and tribulations, circumstances in their lives. And is to say, if you are still standing today, you should consider yourself being unbreakable.
Indeed. And how did your personal experiences, particularly those related to your abusive past, influence the content, the context, and themes in this book?
To tell you the truth, most of the things, especially when it comes to my family, they did not know about them. It is only few things that they knew about. But until I had to come and to face, that breaking point, that circumstances that wanted to take my life. And that's when they realized of how abusive I have been and how depressed I have been. And that made me to realize that I can always bring this into a space where people can actually learn more about my story and also to survive where I actually have survived.
Do you want to share some of the key narratives and stories that you believe will resonate most with your readers? The most of the things that are actually in the book, it is the abuse that I went through, being in a relationship with somebody who's supposed to love you, and yet they brought that pain in your life. I have been molested as a young girl. I have been abused sexually, physically, and all sorts of those things. And it still pains me even today in South Africa, realizing and seeing that even women are still going through all those things in their lives. And hence I said, when I wrote this book, I wrote this book just to let a woman out there that it is not bad to go look for help. It is not bad to go look for assistance. It is not bad to say, I'm not okay, so that you can get as much assistance as you may need, so that you can survive and face the future, because we intend not to reach the future because of the certain things that has happened in our life and that we never dealt with. And I suppose reaching the future also entails, healing from whatever pain that you went through, and just forgiving. And I know that it's so difficult for some people to forgive, but healing is the most, key point in terms of moving on and facing the future. Because you say that your story brings an understanding that your pain does not define who you are.
Definitely doesn't. Because if I were to take what people say about me, about things that I went through, and also even carry every pain that I went through, I wouldn't be where I am today. It took years for me to heal. I've written, there's a point where I've written how I nearly lost my children because the abuse that I went through, it brought me anger, it brought me bitterness. I was this woman that was unhappy. And a lot of children today, we are losing them and not knowing it is us who are causing them, to go into the world and, to live the life they are living, because we have not introspected ourselves. We have not looked in from ourselves to say, how am I? Because of certain things that I went through. I nearly lost my husband. Today, I'm counting 30 years in marriage, but it has not been easy, because when I entered into marriage, my husband did not know about that. I had to hide it because I thought I'm going to be judged. As the communities these days, we are judging people who have been raped. We are judging people who have been abused. We, instead of availing ourselves to give them help and to support them where they could get the help and the support, we are not doing that. So that is the reason why I had to go this way of dotting out my story and to say it is good to say I'm not okay and to get help.
And as much as you are telling your personal story that you hope will inspire so many women to be the best versions of themselves, but I suppose at some point you did a bit of research and outreach, to ensure that the book authentically captures the experiences and the emotions and the pain
of the woman that it seeks to represent, isn't it?
Yes, I actually did. And most of the time, I'm a clinician by profession. So even the research, even though I was not saying I'm conducting a research, but with the patients that would come in the facility with their problems, with everything that they carry, that's when I realized that actually this is an ongoing thing. And also being a pastor's wife, you know, you're doing counseling, you're having members from the community, you know, from different families. And also, so that is how also I had to conduct my research in regards to that. I live in South Africa. I'm part of the community.
Yeah.
I'm part of the activities that are happening also even in the communities.
Right.
At some point, I even went an extra mile to have a gender-based violent campaign, because I could see in the community where we are, it looks like it's a common thing that we are facing. And unfortunately, we have normalized even the abnormal things. You know, women now, it's good to them. They know I have to go through that because I was told, or I was told that I'm a strong person. So I think that is that.
You certainly are a strong person. I mean, just listening to you, I get the vibes of a strong woman, a resilient woman. So what specific aspects or themes did you incorporate in the book to make it more relatable?
I spoke about the power of pain, you know, where you gain your strength in your pain. I spoke about what pain is. And most of the people, they classify certain things that should bring pain to you. But I always say there is somewhere where I stated that, you know, pain, it's pain. It does not matter what is the cause. For as long as it does not sit well with you, for as long as it affects your life, it is pain to you. And it actually, there's a different way of how we deal with pain. We lose things, and you know, experiencing loss in our lives, stressful events, those are the things that can break you. Those are the things that can change your life. Those are the things that can, you know, restructure your life once again in a different way, and they can affect every aspect of your life. So those are the things that and how to get help. There is somewhere where I've stated living with depression. You know,
yes.
It has been a journey where being a pastor's wife and talking about depression. These days, it's not easy because people are going to judge you, because people are going to look at you and somehow you preach this, but you are depressed and all that. But I have thought that there are times where I had to be in hospital and be admitted for 21 days to deal with depression. And that depression did not come out. That depression is something that I've experienced from the beginning, from when I was a child and all that. And it took me a journey. I had to look for a doctor. Because I knew I'm going to take my life. It was the day that I realized I was depressed. That was the day I planned to take my life. And the reason why I'm writing this book is to say, don't take your life. Go out there, seek help. We've got an institution. We've got our government have, you know, places where you can go and seek help so that you can be healed and so that you can be able to move on with your life.
I quite like what you said earlier on. I mean, you said something very powerful, that there is power in pain. So for someone who is broken and who feels that they cannot be salvaged from the ruins of their pain, where is the power in pain?
It's psychological that one would tell themselves that I cannot be able to come. Remember, when we are experiencing pain, you are vulnerable.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of negativity in your mind. And definitely on your own, you cannot be able to stand up. Hence, I said, I received help when I realized I'm supposed to talk to somebody. I need to seek help to see somebody, because that's when somebody now came into my life and told me a different thing out of what I was thinking. Remember, when I was abused, I just thought everyone hates me. When I lost my dad, I thought he betrayed me. I did not trust anyone and all those things. So I thought I'm not going to save myself into this. And now help had to come in. So it is very difficult for one to get help while they're still in their corner. It's very difficult for one to receive help if they have not decided to talk about it and to make a decision in regards to that, to say, let me just seek help and let's see. You know, it's better trying than sitting in your corner and say help will come.
Yeah, just in wrapping, how are you hoping that this book will contribute to broader conversations about resilience and you know, empowerment and healing, in particular for women?
I believe if opportunities were to be given, especially to those people in the communities, it is very important we engage with our community, because that is where these things are happening. It is very important, even also, like as an author, you know, to be available to the community, to be available to the people, to be available to everyone who would come, even as I said, I'm a clinician, in institutions, in clinics where we are working, if we can avail ourselves and to say, let's teach our people about the help that they can get, even into different institutions where they can find help, as SADC. We do have those things, and they're for free of charge. And I believe our African people, they need to realize and to know that help is there.
All right, Mmatshepo, lovely chatting to you, man. Thank you so much for your time. And for those who can resonate with your story, I know that just listening to you, they are healed. And if they go deeper reading into this book, they definitely will get the healing. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
It's such a great honor. It's an honor to be with you. Thank you.
We do appreciate you. Thank you. That was author Mmatshepo M Damane.